Looking back at my career, every single time a business opportunity or a business deal didn't go through, it was always because somebody broke character. Somebody followed the money over the people. Somebody went for the unethical, quick money hustle, grind real quick, get a quick one over people. And I've learned over the last 14 years that character always wins over money. This is the ME Show.
Drinks on me, girls on me, on the dance floor, all eyes on me. Who busy? Then you better come get your girl dog. All eyes on me, party like a rock star. You can find me in VIP. All eyes on me, yeah, where the girls are. This is how your night should be. All eyes on me,
all eyes on the prize, money supersized. G5 super fly, should be supervised. Do or die, open up your eyes, head to the sky. Keep a mean bad mommy on the side. Make a tsunami, kamikaze on the mind. Spit flow, paparazzi flash shine. Get dough, champagne, Merlot. Cash and tango, in the VIP. Now she wanna touch her ankle. Get low, mueve mami como el dembow. All eyes on me, peeping through the window. Get mine, get yours, believe it or not. In the meantime, I'ma keep my eyes on the
all
top.
eyes on me. Drinks on me, girls on me, on the dance floor, all eyes on me. Who busy? Man, you better come get your girl dog. All eyes on me, party like a rock star. You can find me in VIP. All eyes on me, yeah, where the girls are. This is how your night should be.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to a brand new installment of the ME Show. My name is Ali Midawi, and I am your host with the avocado toast. Do me a solid. Make sure you hit that share button, that subscribe button, that like button, anything that would spread the word, because the reality is there are many people who may just need to hear this message tonight. Over the last 2.5 years, I've been dedicated my life myself, shut down businesses, opportunities, income streams, and dedicated it to partners. And I went all out, and I gave everything that I was, and compromised my own income, gave into the company so much more than I've gained over the last 6 months or so. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that have been either given back or given into the company to maintain sustainability, to do my part as a partner. And it turned out to be the biggest regret over the last 2.5 years. Now, I share this with you not because I'm bitter about anything. Life, goes on. It is what it is. But in all sincerity, I have to share with you the lessons that I've learned, because this would allow you to pick the right partner or a strategic partner, the right person to go in business with. And unfortunately, in many cases, in network marketing specifically, this is like a repeated story over and over and over and over again. There's a statistic that shows that 1 out of 1,000 network marketing companies will make it past 5 years. 1 out of 1,000. So when you hear that statistic, my goodness, what are the variables that are leading that 999 companies not to make it past that 5 year or 2 year for most cases? So when I look back, I see it was always greed, it was mismanagement, lack of caring, inexperience. And in my case, now that I look back in the last 2 months almost, just kind of doing a little bit of a recess. Let's take a look. Let's evaluate things. And I realized there was a lot of all of the above. So I share this with you that before you get in business with anyone or any company, you are to make some certain evaluations, because first things first, is the character of the individuals just a persona, an avatar, a character that they are performing on stage or in front of a camera or in front of a Zoom, or is it really who they are? Me personally, I believe that the track record of the individual speaks louder than any of their words. Yes, I believe that people can change and they can become better. I believe in second and even third opportunities. I believe that people get that, evolution of their character where they realize I've messed up and I got to grow from it. But I've talked about this before, where banks rather, or loan companies, they would look at you and I, and they say, let me look at the last 7 years of your track record, not just last year or last week. So we are to do the same exact thing when we are evaluating who to do business with. So Many of you know, and if you don't, I am Influencer Attraction Media. We've launched it about a week and a half, going on 2 weeks ago. It's an entrepreneurial community that helps you to start, grow, scale a business, not network marketing, not affiliate marketing. It's just strictly providing you, the struggling entrepreneur, all it is that you need. And we are an eco-friendly company, by the way. We are focusing on bringing everything in a virtual manner to make sure that we are doing our part for our planet, right? Not only that, we realized that, hey, instead of just going after anybody that has any following, why don't we pick people that are aligned with your character? Why don't we pick people that are aligned with your mindset? Meaning, I myself, right? Like that would do things the way you would do them yourself. And in many cases, I had this thing in the back of my mind. Well, why don't you just reach out to some, multiple seven-figure earners and say, hey, I got a little bit of a network. I got an infrastructure. I got a digital team. I got an administrative team. All I need is your talent. And can we do a joint venture where I'll build it all? You just do what you do best alongside me, and we can charge 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, right? But then character kicked in again. Like, is that really what I would want done to me? Would I want to be part of a community where, I'm just looked upon as, let me get another $1,000 out of this guy. Let me get another $2,000 out of this guy, right? And it dawned on me that when I reached out to a few people and I said, hey, if you were to be part of something, what would be, what would excite you? And then I shared with them a little bit of my vision and my thoughts and whatnot. And there were three specific people. When I talked to them, their eyes lit up. They're like, oh my God, that would be perfect. You know how many people we can help? Not, how much money we can make. Not, how much money we can get out of all these companies or whatever the case may be. It was character that defined the decision for them and for I myself. And the interesting thing, in just the last, really, we started taking business on Monday in just 5 days. That though today's 4, but we're going on 5 days since we started taking business. We're building a company with, right now, if we were to just stop right now, a company with an app that is just on Android, not on iOS yet, with a $60,000 valuation. Right now, if we were to stop, if I were to sell what we have right now, a $60,000 valuation. That's what I was given this morning by an expert who gives companies valuations and whatnot. And I'm like, man, what would happen in a month from now when we actually develop it with the iOS app, and when we bring everything that we have into fruition that we are envisioning to take place? Where would we be? And the valuation is cute and all, but the valuation is always a reflection of the impact that you're doing. So the people we're working with, the people who are working with us, the people that we are collaborating with, the strategic partners that came into play, we've picked them 100% based on character. And character will always win. It takes a long time to build a reputation or to build your name, right? But it takes one day to ruin it. And in my case, I care so much about my reputation, not because of the money that it could cost me, but because I have a son and a daughter and a wife and a mother and a sister and a brother that depend on me. So the sense of responsibility is always thinking long term. And unfortunately, in many cases, many people are willing to sacrifice their own families for the sake of a quick dollar, to sacrifice their own name and the names of their family members who may struggle to gain a job, may struggle to get into an opportunity just because the parent or an uncle or brother, whomever that person that did wrong in their lives, is just ruining it for everybody. I mean, think about any name that is associated with a scandal. Think about all of their family members and how much harder they're going to have it. I want to make sure that the name Madawi will always be associated with good intentions, good actions, taking care of the people from top to bottom. And when you do it right, right will be done onto you. When you do the right thing will 100% and always come to you. And fortunately, many people don't see it like I do. And I'm not saying I am better than anybody. I'm not saying that I am perfect. God knows I am full of sins and I make a lot of mistakes and I have so much to grow and so much to learn. But one thing that I will tell you, the character that I lead with is, I'll tell you what I do and I will do what I'll tell you. 100% of the time. And I live by that. And sometimes it's hard to do that. Sometimes it's hard to compromise, right, your income. And you're like, oh, you know what? This is gonna hurt me, but I'm gonna still do it for the right reasons, right? And fortunately, also what I've learned over 14 years, people who do the right thing, they might not necessarily be the people who are the most taken care of right away, but slowly and long term, they're always taken care of. You want to know the secret of sustainability of any company or of any business? Character. See, your character will 100% determine the sustainability of the company, not your budgets or your margins. Yeah, that's great, but your budget is determined by your character, because are you lying? Are you hiding money? Are you inflating your numbers? Your character is going to impact your margins, right? Are you just charging people an arm and a leg and justifying them with packages that, you know, are worth $20 and you're charging 1,000 or $1,500? Or do you actually have a legitimate offer or a legitimate product? Is your cost of goods valuable in the marketplace or comparable to the marketplace? Or are you just inflating and doing the rah-rah and the hype? See, that is always character. And sooner or later, your character is going to catch up to you, whether it's good or bad. If you got good character and you're going through the drought, you're going through the struggle, you're going through the pain, eventually that good character, something great is going to happen. That's my story, by the way. We've been in business for 14 years. The first 8, 9 years, man, it was a struggle. I mean, we grow a little and we drop. We almost tickled the 6 figures and we drop. And it was just the ups and downs, ups and downs. By year 9, year 10, man, the craziness started to happen. We guaranteed the 6 and multiple 6 figures. And then ultimately we made not only the 7 figures, but we crushed the 7 figures and then crashed. But here's what I did learn. Because of character, what do I teach you if I've ever worked with you? Live on 20% of your income. Now, the reason I say that to you is because when you crash, which happens in business, it happens. I don't care if you're a $1 trillion company. Look at Spotify. They lost like $2 billion in one day after the whole Joe Rogan craziness. It's going to happen. Look at Facebook. Look at Amazon. They have had their crash and burns. It happens. But if you are operating on a responsible, minded, faithful, driven character, I'm here to tell you, you're going to be all right. Because those characters or those behaviors are going to lead to good activities. And the good activity is 100% and always going to lead for you to position yourself in a situation where you're going to be all right. You're always going to be all right. I can go to sleep comfortable at nighttime knowing that I've done my very best and my very right by people, though many people don't see it that way. I know that my association with my former business partners, the bad ones that is, sometimes make me look guilty by association. And I totally understand. And I am absolutely not mad at anybody for feeling that way. But here's what I'll tell you, man, I got receipts. I take care of my people. I always do. And I will always take care of my people. And it isn't to earn credibility, man. Like, we might not talk ever again. But I know for a fact, I know my mama's watching. I know my sister's watching. I know my wife and my kids eventually are going to see these videos, right? Like, that's why I tag my kids in a lot of what I do. So when they grow up enough and I'm building their social media platform so they have a network by the time they're grown enough, that's different training. I know that I did it right. And I will continue to do it right. Even within our latest venture that we've put together, the Influencer Traction Media, where we're helping entrepreneurs grow, scale, or maximize their result in any business, we've put price points that might not be the most favorable for us as a company, that might not give us the most beneficial margins, if you will. But we said, if we can just be profitable enough to be excited, but make it affordable enough that no one should ever feel like they cannot be part of this. They cannot take the blessings that we are putting forward, the abilities that we're creating, the learning that we've had, the education that we've had, and be there personally, be there. I've had people that reached out, and I've personally reached back out. I could have said hit up support. I could have let somebody else from the team reach out, but no, I've always reached out myself, and I still do. So the moral of the story, you want to be successful, work on your character. You want to sustain your success, man, you got to sustain that character, because temptation is real and you are going to be tempted. You're going to see the watches, the cars, the flights, the first class. You're going to be meeting some celebrities. You're going to be meeting it all. You're going to see it all. But the truth of the matter is, unless you are sustaining your character, and I'm talking about integrity, I'm talking about honor, I'm talking about doing what you say and saying what you do, I'm talking about doing it right all the time, not just when you're on a Zoom or on a camera. I'm talking about not just mentioning Jesus Christ when it's feeling good, like, okay, people are watching, let me say Jesus Christ is my Lord and my Savior. Now do what Jesus would do. Put yourself in a suffering situation for the sake of others, and then call me. The reality is many people, unfortunately, are not operating with what they wish they can be operating for one reason or another. I don't think they are doing it in a malicious way, but there are the select few. And I know about a select few. I can give you a small list who are intentionally doing whatever it takes to trick people into their schemes. And they're doing it in a gray area, kind of a legal way. But karma will catch up to everybody, good or bad. I genuinely believe it. So make sure you work on your character. Make sure you pick people to work with based on your character, because at the end of the day, business and partnership is just like a marriage. If you can't stand sleeping next to them, if you are annoyed by them each and every single day, if they are hurting everybody from your side of the family, meaning their in-laws, chances are that relationship ain't gonna last. So why would you even get into that bed in the first place? Man, that was a powerful. I love me for saying that. Let me give me a hug. I love you, Ali. That was a great analogy. I'm going to put that in quote somewhere. Listen, I appreciate it. I love you. This week was incredible. For our very first full week, we had a record week. I cannot wait until the iOS app is open. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to be part of our community, right down here, iam.media. You can click on ME Academy. Every 10 days, we release a brand new series. We are working with people in group coaching. Costs $1.50 a day. That's $47 a month. So whether you are ready or not, make sure you join our community. Take advantage, learn, educate yourself, put yourself in a situation where you can work with the people who want to work with you. I love and I appreciate you. Hit me up. Anything you need, Ali's here for you. And until then, I'm going to see you next week. Have a blessed day, everybody.